Hey guys, welcome to day 2. Hope you guys enjoyed the lesson on day 1, and today we're going to talk about cash flow quadrant, where you are, and I just want to explain to you what the cash flow quadrant is and where you would rather be. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so lesson 1 we talked about why is business the key to freedom, and today lesson 2 again, cash flow quadrant, keys to wealth. Okay, so cash flow quadrant was created by the #1 personal finance book of all time, and this is Robert Kiyosaki. So he was the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, which was the #1 personal finance book of all time, and another book of his is Cash Flow Quadrant, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So Guide to Financial Freedom. Okay, so the #1. So just to start off with, and I've taken this quote straight out of Robert Kiyosaki's book Cash Flow Quadrant: you can never have true freedom without financial freedom. Freedom may be free, but it has a price. Okay, Robert Kiyosaki. Alright, so the 4 parts of the quadrant are employee. So you have a job. This is where most of us are. You got self-employed. So you own a job. So you might be a personal trainer, or you might be a plumber or something like that. The B, the right hand side, is the big business owner. You have a system that works for you. And then the final part is the investor, so you have money that works for you. Okay, money earns money for yourself. Okay, so let's start with the poor side. So this is the left hand side of the quadrant, and this is where 95% of the population is, but 5% of the wealth is on this side. Okay, so 95% of the population in the world is sharing in 5% of the wealth. Okay, so this is the 40-45. So if you don't know what 40-45 stands for, it's working 40 hours a week for 45 years of your life. Okay, so what you will be doing is you will be trading time for money. If you're an employee, you have a job, you're trading your time for money. So if you make sandwiches at Subway, you go in, you give your boss 40 hours worth of work, and he gives you money. Okay, so you're trading your time for money. And as long as you're on the left hand side of the cash flow quadrant, you'll never be free. Okay, the other one is self-employed. So self-employed, you could be a personal trainer, which I was. So self-employed, so every day you have to go, you're your own boss, but you have to go out and you have to look for work. Okay, you have to look for work. So basically you own a job. So if you have a job, you're an employee, but if you own your own job, you still have to go and look for work. You're self-employed. Okay, so 95% of the population, 5% of the wealth. Okay, so you're always going to be trading time for money, and if you're trading time for money, you'll never be financially free. So the 40-45 plan is dead, basically. So it's a broken system. You're going to work for 40 years, 40 hours a week, 45 years of your life, and you're probably going to end up with not enough money to survive on. So it's a broken model, but you'll be forever trading your time for money. But the thing is that most people stay on the left hand side is because it's low risk. It's low risk and it's easy and it's secure. But there is no freedom because you're forever trading time for money. I just want to emphasize that you're trading your time for money if you are on the left hand side of the cash flow quadrant. Okay, so let's look at the rich side, so the right hand side. So 5% of people of the world are on the right hand side, but they share 95% of the wealth. Okay, so 95% of all the money in the world is held by only 5% of the world. Okay, so 5% of the people in the world own 95% of the wealth. Okay, so basically what is the difference? Well, on the right hand side, they understand that they have mastered leverage. Okay, they leverage their time and they leverage money to create more money and more time. Okay, so let's talk about B. So you're a big business owner. So if you look at the big business, they may employ 500 plus employees. Okay, so if you times 500 by, if each of these employees work 8 hours a day, you times that by, so 500 times 8 equals 4,000 hours a day. So when you have a big business, you have employees and they're working 4,000 hours a day, okay? So you have leveraged time for money, okay? So you've traded some, if you're a business owner, you've created 4,000 hours in a day, okay? So if you've got 4,000 hours a day, you can achieve a lot. So basically a business owner has a system that works for them. So, and then this investor, they invest money so they can leverage off more money, okay? So the right hand side, they build systems, they master leverage, but the only bad thing about the right hand side that it is high risk and it's hard, okay? So you're risking a lot of money and it is hard, okay? So it takes a lot of work, so that's why they have a lot of people involved. That's why they have a lot of employees, okay? So business owners employ employees and they pay them money so they can get the time, okay? The other thing that's hard about the right hand side is there's a high barrier to entry, okay? So if you want to own a big business, it costs a lot of money, okay? And if you want to invest money to make money, you're going to need a lot of money and it's going to be high risk. But if you are on the right hand side of the cash flow quadrant, there is time and there is money and there is also freedom, okay? So if you have time and money, you are basically free. So what side do you want to be on, okay? What side would you rather be on? Would you be on the side that has time, money and freedom? Or would you rather be trading your time and money just to be safe and just to get by? Okay, so I know I'd rather be on the right hand side. So how do we move from the left hand side to the right hand side? Guys, basically you need to have a business. All the millionaire books, all the people that tell you and teach you how to become rich and become wealthy, all tell you that you need to have a business, okay? So why doesn't everybody do this? Well, let's look at a system, aka a franchise, and see how much a franchise will cost. So basically a franchise is a pre-built system that can create leverage, but the bad things, it has a high barrier to entry, okay? So you need big dollars. So look here, you got McDonald's. If you want to start a McDonald's, it's going to cost you $1.2 million. If you want to start a gym, so I've got a couple of gyms down here because, you know, I'm into fitness. So Anytime Fitness, if you want to start at Anytime Fitness, it's going to cost you between $100,000 and $500,000 almost, so $490,000. And if you want a Jets, it's going to cost you $300K plus, okay? So that's a lot of money if you want to start a franchise. So a franchise has the systems all pre-built in, so you just pay the money up front and then you get employees to run your business for you, but you have time. But it has, not many people do this because there's you need big dollars to get started. Alright, so if you're an investor or you want to invest in property or investment stocks, you also need big dollars, okay? So is it better to pay off an investment, or is it better to live off interest in your accounts, okay? So basically this image is saying that if you're trying to save your way to wealth, it's not going to happen. If you're going to try and pay off your interest, if you're going to try and live off interest, it's not going to give you enough money, okay? So investing $2,000 in a fund that yields 6%, you would earn only $123 over the year. So it's not really worth investing unless you have big dollars, okay? So I done a few calculations, just using a calculator online. And if you started with $500 in your bank account and you made regular deposits of $100 every week, over a year you'd have $5,700, but the interest you will earn is only $58, guys. So you can't save your way to freedom, alright? You're going to need a massive amount of money to start off with, or you're going to need a massive amount of time, okay? So time and money is something that we don't have right now, but time is something that we can't waste. So we can't waste our time trying to save our way to freedom. Okay, here's another calculation. I did this out of curiosity. How much money would $1 million yield over a year if it was saved? So if you had $1 million in the bank account and you save that over a year, you'd only make $20,000 in interest. Okay, so you can't really live off $20,000. So that old myth of, if I won the lotto and I had $1 million, I'll just live off the interest. No, you better keep your day job, because you're not going to survive. Okay, so it's only going to give you $20,000 a year, and then you're going to have to pay tax on that. So you're probably only going to get maybe 17 of that, or maybe, I'm not too sure, but it's not going to be 20,000. It's going to be less. So basically, guys, if you win $1 million, if you want to live off the interest, don't quit your day job. You probably need more like 10 million to, just to make 100,000 a year. Okay, so what's the solution? So ideal solution would have a low barrier to entry, so it wouldn't cost too much to get started. It would be low risk, so and it would have a high reward. Okay, so and an ability to start part-time, because most of us, we don't have the luxury to quit our day jobs to start a business, because starting a business is hard and it takes time and it does take money to get started. Okay, but also an ideal solution would have a proven system that leverages time and money, and it has the ability to create time and money freedom. Okay, so network marketing is a better way. So this is a solution that I feel is fantastic for people who just want to start and get into business, is network marketing. Okay, so if you don't know what network marketing is, I'm going to talk about that in another video, but just to introduce it, network marketing has a low barrier to entry, there's a low risk, and there's high reward. So, and there's ability to start part-time. So you can start part-time. If you don't have much time to work the business, you can work part-time. Okay, you have proven systems that leverage time and money, and you have an ability to create time and money freedom. Okay, so network marketing, it is a better way. Okay, so in the next video, we're going to be talking about network marketing. We have a better way. Okay, so if you didn't get the cash flow quadrant, just go back, think about what side of the cash flow quadrant you want to be on, the left or the right, and or the pros and cons of it. But here we go, we're going to talk about network marketing in video 3. See you on the next video.